Hello friends, I'm George, the nice smelling gentleman. Welcome back to the channel guys, I hope that all of you are doing well. It's time for another revisiting video. Basically, I like to do this kind of stuff from time to time. I like to revisit some of the fragrances that I've reviewed and covered already on my channel. So today I'm going to do yet another one of those videos. Today I'm going to revisit 7 fragrances that I've already reviewed, and I'm going to give you my updated thoughts on all 7 of them. The first one that I'm going to talk about is one fragrance from the house of Lattafa, a nice little gem from Lattafa that still even up to this day is very underrated in my opinion and deserves way more attention. And the fragrance is called Al Awsaaf. Very interesting fragrance that in my opinion is not a direct clone of anything, but it's pretty similar to some very famous designer fragrances. This is a very nice, warm, sweet and slightly spicy fragrance. The opening here does pretty much its own thing, you know. It's quite sort of sweet in the opening with a hint of spiciness, but the dry down is where, in fact, the opening in here even gives me a bit of Coca-Cola vibes, to be honest. But once this goes into the dry down, it becomes quite similar to something like Spice Bomb Extreme. Also, you know, you can find quite a lot of similarities between this and Tom Ford's Noir Extreme. Again, not a direct clone, but it's very similar, done in a very similar style of, you know, perfumery. Very nice, very sweet, and unlike, for example, Spice Bomb Extreme, in my opinion, Al Awsaaf is a real unisex fragrance, you know, perfectly unisex. Performance here is great, projection is great, you know, price tag is super low. It's really nicely done, and you know, with those few months of maceration that this fragrance has had in my collection, it only you know, got better in my opinion. So this really deserves more attention, and it really deserves, I think in my opinion, is a hidden gem of a fragrance. The next one comes from the house of Al Saffran, and it's called Lattafa. And this one is yet another sort of not a direct clone, but a fragrance that's heavily inspired by something popular, and that popular original comes from the house of Parfum de Marlis, and it's called Carlisle. And Lattafa, especially in the opening, is very similar to Carlisle. It opens up pretty much the same way, with a nice boozy, sweet, kind of spicy, you know, apple note. You get a hint of tobacco in here. The opening is pretty close to Carlisle. Where this differs compared to Carlisle is on the dry down. It goes into a little bit of a different direction. It goes into more of an woody territory, less sweet, less spicy compared to the original fragrance. And all in all, it's very nicely done, sort of heavily inspired by Carlisle type of scent. Performance is good, projection is good, price tag is very low. All in all, this is a really nice fragrance that again deserves more attention, and in my opinion it only got better with time. The next one comes from the house of Zimaya, and it's called Wujood. A very interesting name, and a fragrance that is sort of again another hybrid clone. Originally this was pretty similar to Rosendo's Mathieu No. 5 when I first got it, but with a bit of maceration this started to shift a little bit towards the, you know, the YSL Baby Cat side. Still, I think in my opinion this is closer to Rosendo's Mathieu No. 5, but you know, with some maceration it just became a little bit sweeter and a little bit more vanillic, let's call it that, and started to go a little bit towards the direction of Baby Cat. In my opinion though, it's sort of like a hybrid clone. Performance is good, projection is good. If you're not familiar with those two DNAs, you know, Rosendo Mathieu No. 5 and Baby Cat, it's all about the sweet vanillic fragrance that has quite a lot of incense, quite a lot of smoky vibes with some muskiness, and also quite a bit of leather note in here as well. Again, leans a little bit to the Rosendo Mathieu No. 5 side, but started to go a little bit into the direction of YSL Baby Cat. Good performer, very low price tag, all in all a very nice, perfectly unisex scent. The next one that I'm going to talk about comes from the house of Swiss Arabian, and it's called Shagaf Oud Azrak. Very nice fragrance, pretty much a niche style of perfumery done here with this fragrance. It has a very Middle Eastern vibes. It has a strong oud note that feels a little bit animalic, quite strong, but not super challenging. Very sweet, get a strong honey note in here. There's a lot of cinnamon, a lot of vanilla as well, some leather. Again, a very sort of an niche style of scent. Somewhat close to honey oud from Montal, although in my opinion this is not a direct clone of that fragrance. Also brings some similar vibes to Parfum de Marly's Ocean, but again not a straight up clone of that one as well. I think this does its own thing, but just borrows sort of an inspiration from honey oud and a little bit from Ocean from Parfum de Marly. Beast Mode Performer, Beast Mode Projector, I really like the coloring combination of this fragrance. It's a unisex scent in my opinion that again only got better with time and definitely deserves quite a lot of attention and praise for what it offers. The next one that I'm going to show you is a very cheap gem from the House of Fragrance World that's called Mocha Oud. Now this is supposedly a clone of a Bodycheer fragrance that I've never tried, so I cannot tell you, how good of a job it does copying the original fragrance, but I can tell you that I absolutely love Mocha Oud. It's a very interesting scent that again only became better with the time, with maceration. I've had this in my collection for quite a while. It's very oody, quite sweet, a bit spicy. There's a bit of a sort of an boozy note in this fragrance, quite strong coffee note. On the dry down, it's quite sweet, warm and inviting type of scent, great for the colder months of the year. Another perfectly unisex fragrance that with time it only got better scent wise. The scent really became more mature and there's absolutely no harshness with this one after a bit of maceration, a few months of maceration. And also the performance really got better, especially the projection. Really became quite a loud fragrance. So another hidden gem of a fragrance and a super cheap offering from the House of Fragrance World. And I'm going to finish off this video with the two of my favorite clones in my collection, two of my personal favorites. The first one comes from the House of Art Al Khaleej and it's called Sheykh Zayed Limited Edition. Now I've praised this fragrance quite a lot in my videos and for a very good reason. This is a very interesting clone of Your Homme Intense, but it has a nice sort of a fresh twist on it, more fruity fresh twist on it, and I absolutely love it for what it is scent wise. In my opinion, this is the most interesting clone of Your Homme Intense. I'm not saying the best, the closest, I'm saying the most interesting because it adds a bit of a twist, but that fresh fruity twist that Art Al Khaleej have done to the scent of the original Your Homme Intense really makes this fragrance a really unique clone and scent. Performance is absolutely fantastic. It gets better and better with time, rivals the original fragrance when it comes to lasting power. This lasts for 10, 11, even maybe up to 12 hours on my skin. Also projects quite loudly for this type of scent profile, 2 to 3 hours of very nice projection. Price tag is very low. The only two cons about this fragrance to this day are the fact that first one is that this is an 80 ml bottle size and the whole bottle design and quality aren't that high. And the other problem with this fragrance is that it can be pretty hard to find, at least from what I've seen online. But if you like Your Homme Intense, if you like that DNA and if you want something that really performs nicely and has a unique twist that really makes it really stand out and makes it really interesting, then definitely check out Sheykh Zayed Limited Edition from Art Al Khaleej. The longer this stays in my collection, the better it gets and the more I love it. And the last fragrance that I'm going to talk about in this video today comes from the House of Al Wataniya and it's called Attar Al Wisal. And this fragrance still to this day, in my opinion, remains the best clone of Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male. And by the best, I mean the closest scent-wise. I've had this for close to an year now, and again, with time, it only gets better and better. Scent-wise, super close, the closest that you can get to Ultra Male. You get that very nice, sparkly, sweet, bubblegummy type of sweet pure note in the opening that has some mint and all that stuff. Probably at this point in time, pretty much everybody out there is familiar with the way that the original fragrance smells, and Attar Al Wisal does a fantastic job at copying the original scent. Performance-wise, very close to the original, 8, 9, up to 10 hours of performance, pretty loud projection in the first 2 hours. A really nice fragrance and a nice clone. of Ultra Mode. As I said, to this day, in my humble opinion, this is the best clone of Ultra Mode that you can get scent-wise, how close it is to the original fragrance. The last fragrance revisited in today's video, Attar Al Weasel from the House of Al Wataniya. And so guys, in today's video I revisited 7 fragrances from my collection that I've already done full reviews in the past, and all 7 of them I really like, and all 7 of them have become even better with maceration. I hope that you found this video interesting. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me in the next one. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.